Alright, everybody, what do we have next? We have got the famous story of Mr. Albert Einstein. Okay, we're going to learn about Mr. Albert Einstein, his whole story, right? The story is named as A Truly Beautiful Mind because indeed his mind was truly very beautiful. Okay, and we're going to discuss that right now. So, let's come to the introduction. I hope you all know how Albert Einstein so looks, and for those who don't know him, I don't know from where they come. This is for them, okay? Okay. Let's look at the introduction. So this chapter is about the great epic, Albert Einstein. Einstein or Einstein, whatever you call it, is correct. Okay, he was a great scientist, and the title of the chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, refers to this mind. This is a short biography of where we can see some of his qualities are being highlighted, like Albert's, interest in mathematics and also his interest in physics, and also his humanitarian attribute. The title makes us wonder how a scientist's mind can be so beautiful. Just because in this lesson we come across another aspect of Einstein. He was a humanitarian. He advocated world peace, non-violence, and that is why the title refers to him as A Truly Beautiful Mind. Why? Because he was not only interested in mathematics, physics, like a typical scientist. He was a humanitarian. Okay, what was he? He was a humanitarian, not a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian. He was a humanitarian. Okay, it doesn't mean that he used to eat humans. Okay, don't get it wrong. He was a humanitarian because he advocated what? Used to advocate world. He used to advocate peace. He used to advocate non-violence. All right, let's come to the chapter. Look, Albert Einstein when he was young. Cute, no? So Albert Einstein, he was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm, okay, without any indication that he was destined for greatness. Okay, wait. So Albert Einstein, he was born on 14th March 1879, and he was born in a city named as Ulm in Germany. When he was a child, no one could predict that one day he would become a very great scientist. He was like all the other children. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed too large. So Albert's mother thought that Albert was a freak because he did not behave, talk, or look like normal people did. He was different from the other children of his age. He behaved very abnormally. It seemed as if he had lesser intelligence as comparison to the other children, but it thought to be something different only, right? Just complete opposite of what his mother said. To her, okay, thought that the little boy head it was quite big as comparison to the other child head. At the age of 2.5, Einstein was still not talking. When he was 2.5 years old, he wasn't talking till then, but after that he used to talk. He started talking. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice, right? So finally when he started to speak, he had to utter, he used to repeat the words. Einstein did not know, and these ads always fluctuate and they just break the order. Okay, Einstein did not know what to do with other children. His playmates, they used to call him Brother Boring. His playmates used to call him Brother Boring because he remained to himself. He did not play or talk to them. So the youngster played by himself most of the time. So Einstein, he always was, he was so down to earth. He always remained with himself all the time. He used to play with himself and he used to love himself. He especially loved mechanical toys. From the very beginning, since his childhood, he used to love, mechanical toys. The toys with some kind of machinery, like in automated cars and automated aeroplanes. He used to love that. Boys love that generally, right? Looking at his newborn sister Maja. His newborn sister was Maja. He's said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" Now he was so very indulged in the mechanical toys. He was searching for, wheels in his sister. It seemed as a toy. His sister was born. He looked at her. He could not see her feet. He was wondering where the baby's wheels are. Now these wheels refer to the feet of the baby. As Albert used to play with toys and all the toys had a set of wheels, he suggested that Maja should also have Mother was also a toy, so she must also have her own wheels. A headmaster once told his father that Einstein chose a profession wouldn't matter because he'll never make success at something. Headmaster told what? That Einstein would never be successful in whatever profession he chose. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted, a mature violinist. A mature, okay, doing something with enjoyment rather than a profession, maintaining this skill throughout his life. So Einstein, he was a very good violinist, okay, and he learned this at the age of 6. Why? Because his mother wanted him to. And then you see, he became an amateur violinist also. He played it as a hobby, but not as a profession. And that hobby became a passion for him. He was a very good violinist. Okay, but Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. So Albert Einstein was a very good student, okay? He went to the school in Munich, okay? Went to the school in Munich, where his family had moved from Ulm to Munich. Okay, when he was 15 months old, they moved from Ulm to Munich. Ulm was in Germany, right? So moved from Ulm to Munich, and he always, almost in every subject, he used to score good marks. Now, Einstein hated the school's regimentation and often clashed with the teachers. He did not, like the decorum of the school. He did not like those orders and principles to that extreme. Very strict discipline. He just disliked it. And due to this, he often clashed with his teachers' opinions. He used to say, he used to give replies, respond to them in a very harsh way. Right? He clashed with the teachers. He opposed them. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled that he left the school for good. For good means forever. Okay. So Einstein, he was so suffocated in school, so stifled in the school. He could not follow that decorum which was fixed by the schools, the rules and regulations. So he left the school forever. The previous year, Albert's parents, they moved to Milan and left their son with the relatives. Now, Albert left the school 1 year before that. Parents have already moved to another city, Milan. That was in Italy. Now, Albert, he was left behind in Munich with his relatives. Right? After prolonged decision, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German speaking Switzerland, a city which was more liberal than Munich. So, what happens is the school in Munich, it was very strict. He profoundly left it for forever. He could not follow the discipline over there. He had a long discussion with his family. Right? His parents agreed to put him to a school in Switzerland. And the language there was German. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics. So after finishing school, he decided to study at a University of Zurich. So he was a very good student, right? Was a very good pupil. Highly gifted in mathematics, exceptionally good in mathematics, and also he had an interest towards physics. See, when he was young, yeah. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with water's mosaic. Water's mosaic, water's animals. These animals which live near the shores, their mosaic was similar to those of Albert. The science was not the only thing that appealed to this handsome young man. Dashing young man, handsome young man. Once, other than science also, he had interest in something else too. He was a good violinist, right? He also felt a special interest in a fellow student. Okay, not science. But he was interested in a fellow student, Mileva Merrick, who we found to be a clever creature. Okay? Other than the maths and physics, Albert, he liked one of his fellow students, Mileva Merrick. He thought she was very clever, she was very sharp and intelligent. Now, see Mileva and Merrick. They both married also. So this young Serb had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was only a few in Europe where women could get degrees. So they met at a university of Zurich. Okay. Mileva, she belonged to Serbia. It's also called Serb. She came from Serbia to Switzerland to study in the University of Zurich because this Zurich was one of the few where women could get their degrees. Einstein saw in her an ally. Okay, ally means a friend. He saw in her an ally against the Philistines, those people in his family and the university with whom he was constantly at odds. So, okay. Alright, so Einstein felt that Mileva was a friend because she also liked art, literature, or music. Both shared their common interest. In those days, having interest in art, literature, or music, it was not considered to be good. So those people who were interested in him, they used to call their opponents as Philistines. Albert Einstein's family and many others in the university were not in the favor of this. So against such people, Albert and Mileva, they helped them to face the situation. The couple fell in love, letters survived, in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. Oh, Einstein, how happy and proud I shall be. We both bringing our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. So Albert Mileva, they fell in love. They exchanged their letters to express their feelings. Right? They used to write such kind of letters where they would mix science and feelings. Okay. At one instance, Einstein used to talk about, scientific invention. Other instance, he would be very proud that one day they would finally conclude their paper on the theory of relativity. Now, in 1900, at the age of 21, Albert, he was a university graduate, but he was unemployed. So he worked as a teaching assistant now. He had already completed his graduation from university. He was 21 years old. He was unemployed. Now he worked as a teaching assistant. He used to give private lessons. He finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Okay, he worked as a teaching assistant. Okay, he used to give private lessons, and finally he secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Okay. Alright, so Bern is a city in Germany, remember. Working as a teaching assistant, he used to give private lessons, then became a technical officer in Bern. So while he was supposed to be accessing others people's inventions, he was also developing his own ideas in secret. Okay, he's said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at the work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. He later said that the desk on which he worked was the office of theoretical physics because there only he started his invention. That's why he called it theoretical physics, the bench of theoretical physics. One of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance were not absolute. So, first paper in 1905, special theory of relativity, right? He said that time and distance were not absolute; they were dependent on something else. Now, indeed, two perfectly, accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time they come together again after journey. Okay, one of them has been moving very fast relative to other. So, according to this theory, if there are two clocks, okay, and both the clocks are moving, they will not show the same time. One clock will move faster than the other. From this follow the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. E is equal to mc squared. While Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling, was starting to fail. Okay, solving complicated problems of physics for the world, but his personal life it was draining. Okay, Albert wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it now. Right, she thought Mileva was 3 years older than his son. She was too old for him. Okay, she was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence. She's a book like you. His mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. So Pauline was Einstein's mother. She thought that Mileva, she was very intelligent to be a wife. And she told that Mileva was also like a book similar to him. So he cancelled the marriage. Now the pair, they finally married in January 1903. They had 2 sons also. Albert was married there. But after a few years, marriage became weak. Okay, Mileva was losing her intellectual ambition. She was becoming an unhappy housewife. Okay, she could not cope up with her ambition. She could not fulfill her ambition. She started becoming unhappy. After years of constant fighting, they divorced in 1919. Look. Then Einstein married his cousin Elsa in the same year. The same year, 1919, he married his cousin Elsa. Okay. Now Albert married the second time now. Right? At the time Einstein married Elsa. Another thing coincided. It was Einstein's rise to world fame. Einstein became world famous. Everyone acknowledged him. In 1915, he had published his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. Okay. An eclipse of the sun in 1919. One second, yeah. An eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. Einstein correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational sphere. Newspapers proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution. Alright. Then he received a Nobel Prize also for physics in 1921. It was based on the will of the famous Swedish scientist. A scientist who belongs to Sweden, Alfred Nobel. It was established in 1995 and the first Nobel Prize was given in the year 1901. Okay.